Spreading rapidly through the dense forests of Western Canada, officials in British Columbia compare the Bald Range wildfire to a bomb going off. Several fires in the province have forced more than 20,000 people to be evacuated. Residents have had little time to prepare.
The fire went from 50 hectares to 400 to 1,000 to 5,000, like within 2 or 3 hours. And what was once 15 kilometers away is now right here at the hill. And yeah, so now we're just getting our animals ready, and we're probably going to head back to Kelowna before the highway closes.
Longer hot and dry summer spells have fueled fires in several Canadian provinces, already burning 4 million hectares. Emergency services in British Columbia say the Bald Range fire is one of the fastest spreading they have seen.
I don't know whether my house is gone or still there or not, but that fire came so fast and furious.
Just behind the...
More than 1,500 firefighters are now dealing with dozens of out-of-control fires in the province, which has declared a state of emergency.
We are facing an intense and harrowing situation in the Summerland area, and it is so difficult to be evacuated and not know when you will be able to return, not know what you'll be returning to, whether your home and your community will still be there.
More than 100 wildfires are currently burning across British Columbia, and emergency officials expect dry, windy weather conditions in the coming days will only make matters worse. Ferdia, Carr, Jazeera.
Well, Eric Thompson is an emergency information officer in the province of British Columbia. He joins us live now from the city of Penticton. So I gather that you have been amongst the many thousands of people who've been told to evacuate their homes. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Could you describe how you're feeling? What's going through your head in these moments?
Well, it is certainly a little troubling to not know when we can go home. My home is located a distance from the fire, but the way this fire is moving is somewhat unpredictable. So there's no guarantees until we get the go-ahead to go home. So there's certainly some uneasy moments, and being evacuated from our home while I was here working and then changing and having to go back, like changing gears, so to speak, and having to go home at about midnight and gather my family and head out was definitely quite an experience.
How much more serious has the situation become in the last 24 hours? What are you at the moment most concerned about?
Well, it's the fire behavior that is most concerning. BC Wildfire Service, the lead agency on this fire in the response, was just talking about dry fuels, warm air, and a growth in such a short period of time initially, but now it's really still a very ongoing dynamic situation. There are some 6,000 homes that are on an evacuation order. That means those people have to leave the area. They shouldn't be there. Another 2,000 homes within this region who are on an alert. That means they have to get ready to go at a moment's notice. Today, the evacuation order area was expanded along with the alert area. So it's just a matter of watching where this fire is going to grow.
And how difficult is it to carry out evacuations on this scale?
Well, what happened last night was challenging because much of the town was under an evacuation order, and then on very short notice, because of the unpredictability of this fire, the decision was made and a lot more people had to move at once. So when you have large numbers of people at night having to move, that's challenging. But I would certainly say that the people involved in that operation did a very good job of making sure that they were there to receive people, provide the support they needed. The community has stepped up to make sure they're helping as well, and it's quite an operation.
Now, fires, we've been reporting on fires in Canada since April of this year. Is this becoming the new normal now?
You know, I've heard that term so many times, and I think what people in the emergency management field are saying is that it's not really the new normal, it's just normal. This is what we experience. And when I hear some of the terminology around a fire like this, where people say they haven't seen that behavior before and it was unpredictable behavior, you know, we've heard that in other fires too. So it's just such a dynamic, changing situation that, you know, you think you understand what's going to happen and you don't always. So it really is a reminder for people who live in areas that are prone to this to be prepared for the unexpected.
And then in terms of that, so what are you seeing, given your job, in terms of the changes in the scale and behaviour of the fires?
Well, it just seems that every year is somewhat worse than the previous year, and it's unpredictable in the sense that when you look at the province of British Columbia from the north to the south, some years it's the fires stay in one area. A few years ago, it seemed they were staying in the north, and in our area where we are right now, where I work, we cover 10,000 square kilometers, and there were fires all around our area. And it was very strange. It was like we were in a bubble, and then all of a sudden, this massive fire that is just impacting the entire community. It is just a matter of we need to take steps to be resilient, and obviously mitigation is important. A lot of work has been done around that to clear out some of those fuels and the forest fuels, but also prepare communities to how do you adapt when these big events happen, and how can you be prepared so that you're not caught off guard, and preventing loss of life is really one of the keys to all of that. Structures burn and other things can happen, but preventing loss of life is really one of the key things we're trying to focus on.
And also I'd imagine the fear for people who've left their homes, not even sure if they will be able to return to their homes and their communities.
Well, in the work that I do, I'm in communications and providing information. We're actually live streaming right now on YouTube, and we've been doing so all day and most of the day yesterday as well, providing information and just some comfort to people, because a lot of times when a situation like this happens, you feel a little bit helpless. So anytime you can just tell people what you know, even if it's not the best information, if it's not, you can go home, but if it's, here's what we're doing to get you home. That kind of comfort, that kind of information is what people need. They don't need government answers. They need human answers. They need information.
Eric Thompson, an emergency information officer in the province of British Columbia. Thank you so much for your time at the moment.